A very warm welcome to everyone in the LWG universe and elsewhere. Good morning to people from these parts of the world, and good evening to those who are enjoying an evening or later in the night. A warm welcome on the book launch of Neelam Saxena Chandra. Will you please hold up the beautiful book, Size of Shadows? And you can see right behind me.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Congratulations, Neelam.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Neelam, for your 79th book.
Yeah,
And this
thank
is,
Oh,
you.
wow.
Thank
You
you
you are a
so
miracle
much.
woman.
I'm really very
You are a
excited
miracle
today.
woman.
we all are super excited because today is Neelam's 79th literary baby being launched no place else other than LWG platform. And she is the founder, the lady behind it. A very warm welcome to you, Neelam. And today I'm going to take a page from your book, and I have a four-liner for you. So, dedicating to you, Neelam, with a poet's heart, a storyteller's art, weaves stories that set souls apart, with ink that sings as dreams that soar. Her passionate ink leaves us wanting more. So, as most of us know, Neelam, the founder behind LWG, has authored already 78 books, and she holds three records in the Limca Book of Records. She's been honored with multiple awards, including Sohan Lal Dwivedi Puraskar for Children's Literature by Maharashtra State Hindi Sahitya Academy, Premchand Award by Ministry of Railways, Rabindranath Tagore International Poetry Award, the Freedom Award by Radio City for Lyrics, and the Rural Lifetime Achievement Award, Setu Award for Excellence last year, among the many, many accolades. And in 2014, Forbes India recognized her as one of the 78 most popular authors in the country. So, Neelam, a very warm welcome, and over to you to tell us about the story behind this beautiful book, which brings shadows into light. What are these 50 poems all about?
Well, these are all about various social issues. I can read out the synopsis.
Please
In
do.
the quiet corners of our shared existence lie stories, often left untold, whispers of resilience, cries of injustice, and echoes of hope. Size of Shadows is a poignant collection of poetry that brings these stories to light, shedding a powerful glow on social issues, particularly those centered around the feminine experience. So there are many more things to it, but you must just have got a hint about what the storybook is all about. I mean, the viewers who are already there. Hello, Sunil Kaushalji. Hello, Seema Jainji. And all the viewers who will join us later. Of course, Sadbir Santosh ji, and Rupa already having read the book already know about it.
And Neelam,
So
this will be the right time to invite you to render one of your poems before we talk more about your book.
Yes.
sure. First, I would like to say a few things about the book. You know, this was one of my paintings, and this
Beautiful.
I had done in 2013 or 14.
Mhm.
So, when I was giving, means going, collecting poems for this book, I thought this is just the right painting for the cover page. So I have used this as the cover page, and I would like to thank Raksha Hegde here. Of course, she rarely comes online, but she's been my editor since ages, right since my first book was published. So I would love to thank her. Then I also wish to thank Sudarshan Cherry, who has published so many of my books that I've forgotten the number, maybe more than 25. So, with those words, let me read one of the poems. This was also written in 2012, I suppose. Well, the poems in this book have been written right from 2009 or 10. So I've just collected them and published them. Of course, these were all unpublished poems. So there's a tradition, mainly in Bengal, where I'm currently residing, but that time I didn't know that I would be coming here. So there's a tradition as per which the Purohit has to go and beg for a handful of clay from a prostitute before the statue of Durga is passed or installed. This poem is written from the prostitute's point of view when one such Purohit comes to her to implore for a handful of clay. The poem is titled A Handful of Clay. O Purohita, I refuse to give you a handful of clay. O Purohita, I refuse to give you a handful of clay. Today you just can't force me. After all, it's my day. Ill-treated I am by likes of you. I can't even walk by your side, shunned, looked down upon, isolated. I feel disparaged and despised. Clones of you at night at my house arrive, play with my nipples at my vagina eye. But when the day spreads its cloak, your love disappears like a butterfly. Heard I have that even Ma Durga had to dream Maha Mahishusas. Oh,
Mahishasur.
heard I have that even Ma Durga had to dree Mahishasura's bad gaze. Her wrath and past thwarted all such attempts. But what about us? Aren't we innocent praise? Hypocritic that the entire society is. You come to my veranda today for a handful of clay. Revered I am for only this moment, and before me you beg and pray. Oh Durga, I invoke you today. My anger that continuously burns as a flame. I yearn, bless not those pretenders of fame, and uplift my lives from this life of shame. Thank you.
Seema Jain says, very sensitive and thought provoking poem. And it is so interesting that when you wrote it, you were not on this bhumi, and right now you are exactly where this poem actually originates from. That's beautiful, Neelam. And actually, Maya Angelou said, you cannot use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. So there you are churning out books, and today you are launching your book number 79. How does it feel?
Actually, I've stopped counting the books
Okay.
because that is just a number. I'm enjoying this journey. When somebody asks me how many poems have you written, I remember the 6,000th one, and after
Okay.
that, I stopped counting.
Uh-huh.
So, we poets are very sensitive creatures, and whenever something either hurts us or makes us happy or stirs something within us, we just write. So, all three of you are wonderful poets here. So, you all know how it goes. And maybe I went through some ups and downs in life, which made me more emotional. And I've been writing since standard six. So, they were all in a diary till 2008 when I decided to just put them on social media. They were liked, and I'm enjoying this journey. That's all.
Wonderful. And Pallavi Jain is also joined in, and Seema is commenting, as you know, and we all are enjoying your poetry here. Today, Mandira Ghosh was supposed to join us here to hail the book and you, the poet. However, due to technical glitches, she could not be with us. But in spirit, she is with us today and with you, Neelam. I invite Santosh Bakaya. And before inviting her, I want to say the four lines again. This is a page from Neelam's book. She makes time to write a four liner for every participant in any meeting. And I said I should learn something. So this is my effort at it. Santosh's laughter rings poetry bright. She paints dreams in golden light. Her verses dance fierce and free, echoing joy with rhythmic glee. So, dear Santosh, a poet, essayist, novelist, biographer, creative writing mentor, TEDx speaker who's internationally acclaimed for biographies on Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., her TEDx talk on the myth of writer's block is amazingly captivating and popular in the writing circles. She's written 30 books across genres, and her latest one, Din About Chins, has been well received by the readers. Santosh, I invite you to share your celebration on the beautiful book launch today, Size of Shadows. Over to you.
Thank you, Rupa. Thank you so much. And let me say that you are looking very, very pretty with that red color, or is it maroon? So, hearty congratulations, Neelam Saxena. I must say, you are a miracle woman. Imagine writing 80 books and many more in the mind, many more in the heart. Keep writing, keep inspiring us, keep influencing the world. And Authors Press has done a wonderful job as usual. And of course, the painting. I did not know it was your painting. It's wonderful. And I don't think anyone noticed that I am wearing a color coordinated kurta. See, and
So
I got it
sweet.
stitched. No one noticed it. I pointed it out. Anyway, so Neelam Saxena has painted the different hues of the world in her poems, and there is no dearth of range in the 50 poems in this collection. They cover all emotions: love, sorrow, joy, hope, pain. There are poems of resilience, poems against injustice, social issues. There are poems about women struggling silently, bridegrooms expecting a huge dowry, women chained by invisible shackles, women living in gilded cages, leading hollow existences, poems about child abuse, the plight of sex workers, acid attack victims. And there's a poem here, Reshma Walks the Ramp, and it really touched me. When I was going through the poems, I just wanted to recite that too. In fact, I wanted to recite all the poems anyway. So words,
That's
words gush
based on
forth.
a true story. That's based on a true
Yeah, yeah,
story,
of course,
Rachel.
uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I could gauge that. And we see that words, gush forth very effortlessly from the prolific pen of this sensitive poet. I also have a pen, but it isn't as prolific as your pen. So hats off to you and keep writing. And Neelam, of course, you know that you are a person who wears many hats with aplomb. And we find in these poems, we find that she's concerned about the erosion of values, and she pleads for compassion, kindness, and tolerance. She talks about the universe, which is littered with a chaotic array of trials and triumphs. And she talks about them passionately, hits hard at the hypocrisy of the world, which is ruthless, rigid, and unsentimental. And she asks women to learn to swim. And when chaos rules the world, it is love that matters. So I had said that I would be reading just one poem, but because we have ample time, I think I'll read two. But right now, I'm going to read the poem that I promised that I would read, and it is on page 87. And the poem is called Death. Death. I know the thought frightens you. We'll not discuss it. We'll not discuss it. At least not today. At least not today. When I was bereaved due to the death of my pet, my love, I couldn't sleep for days. I couldn't sleep for days. I felt that a part of me was gone. I felt that a part of me was gone. But then, but then everyone has to go. Everyone has to go someday or the other. See, I'm talking of death again. Let's not discuss it. Let's not discuss it. At least not today. At least not today. Sometimes people don't die. Sometimes people don't die. Nevertheless, they become dead. I know a lady well who became a widow during the Mumbai blast. She refuses to reconcile to fate. She is a log of wood whose thoughts have died, and yet the heart pumps blood. I sometimes wish that she was dead. Oops, sorry. Oops, sorry. I'm again discussing death. Let's not discuss it. Let's not discuss it. At least not today. At least not today. But you see, there are people who lose the enthusiasm in life, who get up, eat, go to office, eat, return home, eat, sleep. The cycle continues. Aren't they really dead? Aren't they really dead? Oh, why do I always come back to the topic of death? Let's not discuss it. Let's not discuss it. At least not today. At least not today. There is so much chaos around. People are surrounding themselves with strong walls. When people are butchered for religion and caste, when women and young girls are raped, when innocence is attacked, when children are trafficked, when nations engage in killing each other, people stray in their own fortresses where they can neither see, hear, feel, nor touch the inhumanity and think they are safe. Let me tell you, dear, let me tell you, dear, we are all dead. We are all dead. Alas, we are all dead. Thank you so much for this excellent poem. Thank you.
Fabulous, fabulous. And
This is
I think
a,
each word, each poem
yeah,
brings
it's a,
alive the emotions. And Santosh, you rendered it so beautifully.
I don't know, but the poem is so well written. Excellent. And if we have some time later, I'll read another poem after Sabirji.
Please go
Absolutely.
ahead. Please go ahead.
Read
After
it now.
So,
Sabirji. Okay, I'll
Read
read it
it
now.
now.
Yeah. Woes. Woes, and this is a
You're in
poem
the
on
you're
page,
in the tempo, no?
yeah. This is on page 53. Woes. I'm so frustrated and feel lonely too. Ah, my daughter Reena, why are you so irritating? Why did you shut down the television? It's the only thing I love watching. You say your name is not Reena, but Dimple. Why do you fool me? Don't I know my daughter's name? Don't I know my daughter's name? And where have you kept my specs? Where have you kept my specs? Oh, why do I have to bear with you and live this life of shame? When I tell you that I never went to the theater, why do you question me every now and then? You have grown in my lap, if you remember. You have grown in my lap, and I taught you to count from 1 to 10. When I say it is cold, it is cold. When I say it is cold, it is cold. Don't you think I know the reason? Don't you think I know the season? Where did you hide my muffler? Where is the coat? Crooked you are. Your mind is full of treason. Your mind is full of treason. And where did you put that photograph of your mom? Since she died, it was hanging on the corner of the wall. It was hanging on the corner of the wall. Uncaring and heartless person you have transformed into. Suddenly, suddenly, I feel I can't understand you at all. Suddenly, I feel I can't understand you at all. I think I realize who the man behind your actions is. It's that fellow, it's that fellow who calls himself a physician. It's that fellow who calls himself a physician. Alzheimer's, my foot. He wants my wealth. I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that. And you follow him around with no rhyme or reason. With no rhyme or reason. Hats off, Neelamji. That's a wonderful, wonderfully written poem. I really loved it. Thank you for writing
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me to read it. People tell me
No, you
that
were
एक दो
rendering
शब्द
it
इसमें
so
डाल
well.
दो, लेकिन I really wanted to
Santosh,
read it.
your renditions and you are a force to reckon with. How dare any one of us stop you?
Ask that man in the other room. Ask.
I'm reading
He's
his
commenting.
comments.
He's commenting on Neelam Saxena's post and calling me
Yeah.
names.
So we have Aparna Pradhan, Garima Sudan, Kapoor, Rashmi, Juhi, Sunil ji, Lalit ji, of course, from across your other room. We have everyone showering love, and Lalit ji saying hats off to you, Neelam. Garima is saying lovely
Which
poems, Neelam
which
Saxena.
hat? Which hat?
Aparna
He
Di
wears so many
saying,
hats.
there you are.
Which hat?
So, so after this beautiful rendition, Neelam, allow me to invite Sadbir ji, if I may. Another four-liner on Dear Dear Sadbir ji. Sadbir's voice echoes wisdom's call. She spins stirring tales that inspire all. With every verse, a soul takes flight. Her words shine strong, a guiding light. Sadbir ji, she has authored the highly acclaimed book For God Loves Foolish People, for which she was awarded the Rural International Prize. Her second novel, Betrayed Tale of a Rogue Surgeon, is a medical thriller. She is published in over 40 global anthologies, including Q, published by Historical and Cultural Commission in Philippines, Vibrant Voices, and Silver Years by Sahitya Academy, Delhi, containing poetry and short stories. She has 4 solo poetry collections to her credit: Breeze, Glass Doors, Last Lamp, and I Want to Go to Haldwani, and other poems. Her latest novel, Hills and Lakes, congratulations for the latest one. And for her contribution to literature, she is awarded Litpreneur Award by Author Press. She is founder of the Nissim International Prize for Literature, awarded annually to upcoming writers of English prose and poetry. She lives in Delhi, and her doors are always open for the likes of us. Over to you, Sadbir ji.
We've all been there.
I wish I was, but I will, God willing, very soon.
Thank you so much. That's a very beautiful four-liner. Touched me. And congratulations, Neelam, for this special launch. And this book is really special because it has your artwork, and it's one of the most beautiful artworks among all your books that I have seen. I haven't seen all. That's true.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I know I'm supposed to talk about the book, but it's also pertinent to talk about Neelam today. I always used to talk to her about her, and the way she stands out is like, I met her in 2016 for the first time, and she was already an achiever. She had won many awards, and she was in Limca Book of Records and Forbes list and everything, but humble and loving as ever. Nobody could think that she had already written so many books and everything. So one thing I've seen through all her books, she has been writing relentlessly against injustice, against gender disparity, misogyny. She's the most committed feminist I've ever come across. And I know I've read many of her books, novels, poetry collections, but the refrain of the abused, throttled, and trampled womanhood, victims of violence and often extreme aggression, even femicide, feticide, sexual abuse, dowry extortion, it still exists. And she continues her fight. She continues to rant against it. She continues to show, to open the blinds and expose the people who are doing it, and cries for them, literally from her heart. The cry goes out for those people. And I really pray that cry is heard and those people get succor pretty soon. But the best thing is that her poems are written with a flourish. The poetic genre is given due worth. There are metaphors, figures of speech, imagery, the flourish, the embellishments, all are there, despite putting across the grim sorry to say, grim picture that she has to show, and she succeeds in doing that very well. Since I think I have a minute's time, there's one story of hers I'd read long ago. I think she read it at the launch at a book fair. So it was about a couple. They are bringing up two children, one boy and one girl, and the medicine is limited or something like that, and both suffer the same disease. So the boy is given the treatment, the girl is denied, and the girl ultimately dies, and the boy survives. And that was, that has never left me. The pain which she exposed in that story, and then she told me it was real, and what she must have gone through, and what the with the pain she would have written that story. So this is what her real, you know, she lives a beautiful life, but that part of her heart that's connected, that is the spiritual part of her, that is really glowing. And I pray she gets success, and somewhere in society there is succor, and all these women get a better life. I pray. So I think I won't talk much about this book because we've all read it and we're all going to continue reading it. I just recite the poem. Uh, I liked here. I liked all actually. There's no question of not liking any poem. But yeah, where she's literally putting up a fight, like she's put up a fight against Gautam Buddha leaving his family once. I remember that poem. So this is to Meera. You remember it too. This
And
is to
this is
Meera.
not to Meera Bansali and admin of our group.
No, the title is to Meera. है ना? So not just Meera, to all the Meeras of the world. Wake up, Meera. Wake up, Meera. If someone sends you a basket with cobra, names it as a basket of flowers, would it turn into a Krishna's idol? A cobra it shall remain. Wake up, Meera. If you are delivered a cup of poison, stating that it is nectar, even if you offer it to Krishna, poison it shall remain, and you shall die. Wake up, Meera. If you jump in a river, there shall be no Krishna to make you float, and drowning shall be your destiny. Wake up, Meera. Learn to survive on your own. That's the best line. Learn to survive on your own. Miracles don't happen, and no one comes to save anyone. Seeing this ruthless, frigid, and unsentimental world, even the Krishnas have disappeared. You have to learn to swim and cross oceans of life. So that is the powerful message. And uh, I won't say hey Hitra, I'll say hey Neelam.
That
So
was a joke for anyone who has any comments regarding what was said earlier. Otherwise, it is absolutely Hail Neelam. And prior line was a
HAIL.
joke.
HAIL.
Yeah. The other poem again I want to, it's like an ode to Ravan. It's an ode to Ravan, but it's actually our women, we from childhood, we are fed those mythological stories of patriarchy, and the women who they've some, they are partners in their own crimes against them. They are actually, they believe that okay, it's happening is, so that whole mindset should change with this sort of poetry. That is what we should be doing, and what she is doing is wonderful. Oh Ravan, oh Ravan, I bow to you. I bow to you. With your sword's might and your valor's mysticism, you could have forced Sita for any time. You could have forced Sita for anything, and yet to treat her with respect, you opted. Gave her a choice to decide, and venerated her no. Oh Ravan, so different you were. It's just that the times were also atypical. And despite the innocence of Sita, chastised she was, even by her husband own. And to live a life in exile forcefully, people blamed you for her condition. No one impunged Ram. Oh Ravan, how happy I would be to see you back to earth now. To see you back to this earth now, the land in tatters lies. Women are not respected anymore. Her no is almost most often not treated as no. And now no one honors her by asking if she desires something. O Ravan, how happy I would be to see you come back to earth now. So much this resonates with people, and every day we hear stories of women being bullied and what all is being done. Even highly, just today I heard about a highly educated lady. She's done her PhD twice, and she's a very senior professor. And what outrageous things were done to her. I mean, this poem came to my mind at once. Why don't people become Ravan? That's the
I
feeling I
had
got.
written this particular poem when the Damini incident happened, but there are so many Daminis in our country. And that was the time when I'd heard a very leading figure say, ये तो करते ही रहते हैं लड़के, तो लड़के छोटी मोटी ऐसी गलतियां कर देते हैं, क्या छोटी गलती उस लड़की के लिए क्या है, और आप ऐसी बात कर रहे हैं तो इट्स शेमफुल.
That's
So
it. They want women to accept it and feel okay about it, which we don't want them to. We want them to say it's not okay. That's
yes,
that's the thing.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much,
Saprit, for
Neelam,
a beautiful rendition.
for this wonderful set of poetry, for all that you always been writing. And the good thing is that you never leave the poetry uh, in a sinking mood. You always, in the last line, hope that things will change. And I pray for that hope to always be there and actually make things happen, manifest things. God bless you so much. Continue writing, continue shining, and I'm going on talking because I remember when COVID happened, she was the first person who reached out to the medical professionals, to the nurses, to the doctors who were uh, working unequipped, unprotected. They had no gear. They kept working, they didn't give up. So she said, okay, let's write slogans to encourage them. And then she looked at the people who were sitting at home depressed, and she said, okay, start reciting, poets who know, you know, poets reciting. And then people who had never written a line, I think there are scores of people, hundreds, whom she has brought out and made them all poets. They're all shining on the sky today. I couldn't count them. I mean,
Sabirji,
so many I
on that note, I think we do want to add that when she founded LWG. That was precisely her way of saying she leads by example when she said there are no other platforms which will uh, embrace me. I will embrace the rest of the world, and I will found the platform which has like-minded people. So she
She
brought
has
in
created a
and
huge community. She has brought the world together, the writing world together. She's created a huge
absolutely,
community. I'm very
absolutely.
proud of you, my dear. Very proud of you.
And today, the day, the May 6th, when we launch this beautiful book, Size of Shadows, it covers 50 poems ranging from a small child to a young girl to a woman from different professions. And it's a day that we celebrate 79th literary baby of Neelam Saxena. And today is the date when historically the Eiffel Tower was formally inaugurated during the Paris Exposition Universelle. And this was the day in 1941 when Joseph Stalin became the premier of Soviet Union, and Roger Bannister was the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes, and the Channel Tunnel was officially open connecting Britain and France. And finally, the final episode of Friends, the TV show, that was aired. So, Neelam, today is a day we celebrate so many things. And I want to say also this Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, which is what you did with the size and the shadows bringing to light, he said, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So, you, Neelam, take the fate in your hands by writing on topics, issues which make a difference and touch everyone's lives.
And I've been
And
very fortunate with not only with having met Neelam, with all the people, Santosh, she has pulled me from where Koshi, they both groomed me into writing. I couldn't write a line. I was a storyteller. But this whole community is fabulous. And I'm so, so happy to belong to all these people. I belong to all of you, bhai.
By the way, Sadhbir ji, Lalit ji is sending you hearts. Say thank you to him. And Neelam, you too, and Rupa, you too.
so while Lalit is sending lot of hearts to the three of you, and I'll grab one, I will grab a moment to
You
render
can
a
grab one.
poem by Neelam. Shalini has joined in, Pooja
You're
has
getting it now.
joined in.
You're getting it now. Lalaji is
Hi,
a dear,
Shalini. He's not here. He's in the
It's
other
I
room.
because
So
So,
I take your
Santosh,
permission, Sadbir ji and Santosh and Neelam, if I may render a poem from the book
Of
oh,
by
course, we are
Neelam.
sure,
waiting for
oh,
you. Of
sure.
course.
hey, shame
Okay.
on us. Yeah, we forgot to invite us, Neelam. पहले हम सब sorry बोले.
Arey nahi, I self-invited myself. I'm very
No,
happy to.
one of us should have invited you. I invite Rupa. Please come and talk about Neelam's book and render a poem or two and tell us what you know, what you feel about this book, what we haven't got.
Thank you
The
so much,
and let me
Sadbir
add let
ji.
me add some adjectives to it. The resplendent, sparkling, beautiful, gracious Rupa. A big hand.
वो
Thank
जब
you so
आती
much.
हैं वो जब आती हैं कविता की बहार लाती हैं वो रूपा है.
Wah, wah,
वाह,
wah.
रूपति
मेरे
भी
पास
है.
तो नहीं.
रूपति, वो रूपति भी है.
रूपा
Thank you so
रूपा
much.
रूपा
And Neelam
रूपति.
actually invited me to be part of this event today is so important and dear to me. And she embraced me when I possibly wasn't doing much in the literary world. So it's a pleasure to be here today and recite her poem, My Wish.
Oh,
The
yeah.
azure of the skies beckon me. I wish
Beautiful.
to be a soaring kite for a day, touch obscure horizons, glide higher and higher. At times, I wish to be a majestic bird that doesn't fear the unknown, with dreams dexterously perched on its wings, keeps following its nimble heart. Maybe someday I too shall study and rise, like that pretty lady sitting in the bungalow just opposite to my melancholy hut, who I have heard is a pilot. But right now, it's hunger that I have to take care of. I have not eaten a morsel of food for last 2 days. So this is the wish of a little girl who looks at aspirational figures around her, but she has to deal with the very basic need of hunger. How simply, beautifully put, Neelam. And may I, with your permission, share one more poem in the book.
Please do. Please do.
Please.
It says, Mama, don't weep. Mother's Day is coming soon on the 9th. And I think this poem would be so appropriate and a tribute to all the mothers out there with mother figures in their lives. Mama, don't weep. Mama, don't weep. Yes, I had always been subconsciously aware of father hitting you every now and then. It was an unequal fight between his strength and your despair. Mama, don't weep. When I saw him pull your hair today, drag you, beat you, burn your skin with a cigarette butt, my heart cried out. I yelled in dismay, Mama, don't weep. Mama, don't weep. Time never follows the same path. Today, he mocks at your helpless tears. Taking me to be a kid satirizes my wrath. Mama, don't weep. Tomorrow, a new hopeful sun shall from the horizon rise. Your lost métier you will gather, Mama, and together we shall fly over the skies. Mama, don't weep. You have just forgotten your own forte and assets. You are a woman, but you're not weak. Think, Mama, think. You're not a vignette. Mama, don't weep. Whenever you feel like giving up, just remember you too have a lovely daughter. You would surely want a beautiful future for her. Mama, don't weep. Let's forever leave this life of domestic violence. You have the Durga in you. Invoke her now. Mama, summon your courage. Grow stronger. Mama, don't weep. Neelam, thank you for this beautiful poem, which is a voice for so many who are unable to communicate. And over to you, Neelam, to acknowledge all the beautiful people who have joined us, congratulated you, and showering love. Over to you, Neelam.
Thank you,
Thank
Rupa,
you.
for this last poem was the most powerful read today. Thank you for choosing that one and saying it so well. Thank you, dear.
And you rendered it so sensitively with such a passion. It was very,
Yeah.
very
It,
touching.
it came,
Very,
it
very
came,
sensitively
right.
rendered.
It was written with so
Hats
much
off to you.
passion, it deserved better.
Thank
You
you.
were the
Thank
best.
you so much. So, first, a few words about this poem. So, when I pick up a newspaper, I don't go to the political news. I don't go to cricket. I don't go to film section, and I don't bother about the so-called hi-fi women and men who are covered on page 3. My heart goes out to issues of relationship, the problems around. So I was just reading about a woman who had undergone a lot of domestic violence, and the people were still, laughing because they thought ki, a woman being beaten is just a normal thing. And the picture had a little girl just sitting next to that woman when she was being beaten. So this poem was born at that moment, because we accept certain things as so normal in life that we don't bother. But it's time we say no, this is wrong. and we will not accept it. But who will do that when the entire society is thinking it is just normal and husbands do beat their wives? So there's this girl who's wondering, how is this right? And so I decided to speak through her.
Hmm.
So this was in Lucknow, where I had seen the scene in front of railway station.
But in all
So
your works, you have never, you always shown that you've never felt it's all right, it's okay. I mean, that
yeah,
has
it
never
isn't.
come. That is one
It isn't.
static for you that is, this is not okay. Sorry, I
Yeah.
interrupted. Please carry
No,
on.
no, you are very correct. So
Hmm.
this has been my state of mind right since I was a child. Even at that time, when I would see such an incident, I would wonder why. And though I was sometimes told, "Kid is okay, don't meddle." So yes, I didn't meddle, but I started writing, and I've
Hmm.
written on social issues right from standard sixth or seventh, things which used to happen in and around my house, and that is how I started writing books. And in fact, I did tell my story once. When I wrote a story, my teacher said, "This you could not have written because this is such a matured poem." So it was on another social issue. So, like these things keep happening, but we have to post them somewhere. So we are all like be it Santosh ji, be it Satbir ji, be it Rupa, or our dear friends here who've joined us, Shalini ji, Lalit, Dr. Koshi, Anjali, and Pooja. All of us feel that these things are not right. So we stand up for them. Aparnadi is there, and so many of our friends are there. Sima Jain, Sunil ji, Garima. So we all feel that something is not right, and we write about it. So writing has two ways. One is project the feelings of the person who's undergoing pain, which I've done in this book. And second way is showing that woman or the person who is suffering some path. So that I do in most of my poems. I try to
Yes.
show that howsoever dark it may be, there's light somewhere. And I've seen people fight and find their way towards happiness. So, yes,
Neelam,
Satbir ji reminded me of that story from my book, that is Skylines, which was a short story collection. And yes, it was indeed a true story. Of course, while writing story, we do use a bit of more scenes which might not have taken place. The only thing I knew in that story was two kids were having juvenile diabetes, and the girl, was not given medicines, and since the person who was sponsoring her medicine was ready to give only to a female child, she was taken to the doctor and the medicine was given to the male child.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Exactly.
um, so
Exactly.
thank you,
And that book
Neelam,
Sadhbiji.
was
as we know,
translated. That book
all
was
your stories
translated
have a
also.
bright light and a ray of hope. And all your stories talk of joy at the end of it and heading towards positivity. So, before we close this event, would you recite a poem of your choice that would be close to your heart?
See, initially I was thinking of rendering another poem, but I now feel that let something be unread, so that people get the book and read it. And I've really enjoyed this book. I've enjoyed so many people joining us, and I haven't met Lalit ji, so I want to meet you, Lalit ji. And so I just hope that not only should people read the poems written by poets like us, like Satbir ji, Santosh, or Rupa, or our wonderful viewers here, but we should also try to spread some happiness in the world and try to help one soul. Even helping one soul would be great. And if you do that after reading my poems, the writing of my book would be justified. That's all I would like to say.
That's all.
What a beautiful closure to this session. And Neelam, I think this platform rightfully belongs to you to say the last words. We thank Sadhbir ji, Santosh ji, all the beautiful people who joined us and who will join us later. And Neelam, thank you for this beautiful event and a book that we all enjoyed reading.
Thank you for the
Over to you,
beautiful.
Neelam.
It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book.
Thank
And
you
I'm
for the
going to read it
beautiful.
again. And I'm going to recite these poems.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Having Sadhbirji, Santosh, and Rupa here was just like chatting with friends, because
Yeah.
I've known all of you
We
since
keep chatting all the
long.
time. And
Yeah. Just when I went to Delhi, I met Santosh. Then, just after 1 or 2 months, I met Sadhbirji. I have to meet you, Rupa. But we met online so many times that it
I
feels like
keep,
we know each other.
yeah, I keep forgetting whether I've met Rupa or not. We have met in the virtual world. We have talked late into the night, and therefore I keep forgetting whether we have really met or not.
Absolutely ditto. Agreed.
And Lalit ji also knows all my friends. Uska phone nahi aaya, iska phone nahi aaya. He keeps
So
asking.
it has been a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, Sadhbirji, Santoshji, Rupa, and all the wonderful poets who've joined us today.
Nice to see
Thank you.
Shalini.
Thank you.
We're honored.
Thank you
We're
so much.
honored,
Thank you
Neelam,
for
that we've
inviting
been
us.
invited.
आपकी
Yeah.
जरा नवाजी है नीलम जी एंड रूपा जी जरा नवाजी है हमको यहाँ अपने
Thank you, Rupa,
शिरकत
so
करने
much.
के लिए बुलाया बहुत
बहुत
बहुत ही अच्छा
शुक्रिया.
लगा
थैंक यू सो मच. आप सब
बहुत
आए और
अच्छी
आपने आज ये
बहुत अच्छी
सेशन
किताब है
नवाजा.
आपकी ये बहुत बढ़िया
And
लिखी है
thank you for a
आपने
beautiful book and a session, Neelam. And once again, looking forward to more beautiful, touching stories from you in prose and poetry. Good night, good day, wherever
Good
you
night.
are, and lots of
Hats
love
off,
to
Miracle
everyone.
Woman. Hats off, Miracle Woman. I salute you. I salute your whim, vivacity, your gusto, and whatnot.
Good
Hearts to all
night.
of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.